another class. I am so excited about today's class because right now we have a very specific amount of time before the end of the year is over. And to me, this is a beautiful time to try to reach your goals in life, to reach the goals that you set out to reach this year. And so most of y'all know we are in a 90-day career sprint. What that means is as of October the 1st, you should have chosen the goal that you are working towards to the end of the year. That's 90 days from October the 1st to December the 31st. And we are going after those goals, which is why today's class is truly called Become the Goal Getter You Were Meant to Be. I want us all to become the go getter we were meant to be. And I understand that life can get really, really hard. And so many of us are going through so many things right now. And with all that being said, it is necessary that we, put a goal into place so that we can stay on track for what it is that we want to accomplish this year. Me personally, I am working on my second, excuse me, my second book, and it's long overdue. I have been wanting to write this book and take the time to write this book for such a long time, but I've never committed. And so within these 90 days, I said, guess what? I am going to commit. And so that is why I'm really having this conversation. I love the play on word go getter. Because some of us, the songs always talk about gold digger, but we are go getters up in here. And so I really want to start off by talking about why you haven't actually hit your goals yet. I know a lot of us have goals. Most of us have goals. Our goals can be big, our goals can be small, they can be medium. A lot of times, what I tell us to do is make significant goals, meaning it means and matters to you. It might not matter to somebody else, but it actually matters to you. So for you to make a goal that's significant enough for you, that's what you ultimately want to do. And so why is it that you haven't hit your goals yet? Well, the truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent. Honey, listen, baby, we got the talent. You got the talent. You have every single thing that you need in order to succeed. You've been to school, you've done all the things, you got the talent. The truth is, they lack, and we all lack, or we fail because we lack clarity and consistency. Come on, somebody. We lack clarity and consistency. I'm trying to tell you, we a lot of times we set goals from a place of pressure and not purpose. We set goals because we have to, or because we know it's something that we're supposed to be doing. We don't set it because we know within our spirit that it's our purpose and that we're supposed to get it done. We set it because, it's just a part of the job, which of course we got to get the job done, so that makes sense. We literally just set these goals and be like, okay, I got to do this. I should be doing this, so that's what I'm gonna do. But the truth is, I've learned that when you set goals that aren't tied to something that truly matters to you, it's easy to lose momentum. It's so easy to lose momentum, which is a lot of times why we talk about we need to have a why. And I think that that is underplayed. And a lot of people think that when you talk about having a why, you are it's a lot of fluff, right? It's a lot of fluff. I mean, why everybody's talking about you got to have a why, but it's the truth. Having a why is so important. So the truth is, you don't need to work harder. You need to better align your goals. You need to align your goals better to what it is that you're ultimately supposed to do, right? You have to ultimately do that. So for me, when I was writing my first book, Get Courageous Now, A Woman's Guide to Finding Her Passions and Purpose in Life, I I knew that I needed to write it to really share with people how how I overcame so many obstacles and how they could do the same. So I knew that that was the reason why I actually wrote that book, right? People were asking me for it. It wasn't something because I've been a speaker for a very long time, so people were actually asking me for it. And so for me, writing that book was necessary. I knew that I needed to write that book because it was in line with my purpose in life, which was to help women succeed, right? And so for me, I needed to do that. What is it for you? Right? I have to align my goals. You have to align your goals as well. So let's start off with the first step because I want us to jump right into how you do this. How do you become a goal getter? So the first thing you got to do is you got to get clear in your vision. You got to get clear on your vision. You cannot hit any target that you can't see. Come on, somebody. You can't hit a target that you can't see. You have to get clear. And what that means is asking yourself, what is it that you really want? Not what you should want, but what you really want. It's so interesting because I host conferences, and so my conference this year was Thrive 25. Next year will be Thrive 26. And with the conferences, I always ask people to get clear on what it is they want out of life. And when I ask this question, it's always a very interesting response that I get because I think that we live our lives based on what other people want for us. It's just true. Um, Not what we want for ourselves, but the opinion of others. Even it can be somebody who's super close to you as well. But I think we live our lives based on kind of like what we've heard, what we've told, all those things. And I think that it is detrimental to us. It's detrimental to us, right? To be able to get up and live your life every single day, based on what other people say. Hey, Ellery, thanks for joining me live for today's class. So, if you do that, how is it that you are ever supposed to figure out what it is that you want for yourself? If you live your life based on what other people want for you, how is it that you will ever figure out what it is that you want for yourself? And so for me, I had to stop thinking and looking at, not even just thinking, but looking at, because what we end up doing in the age of the social media that we live in, we start looking at other people. Now, I can say you can look at other people to get ideas and concepts, but most of us can't look at what other people are doing objectively. We look at other people and we think that we're supposed to do what they are doing. That's not the case. You got to chart your own path. You got to do what it is that you feel is right for yourself in your heart, right? And so when I start to visualize and dream for my own life, I have to get clear on what it is that I want. So before you think about titles, before you think about success, what you need to do is focus on how you want to feel, how you want to be fulfilled, how you want to be impacted, and then let that vision guide you, right? So, one of the things I want you to do when it comes to really getting clear on your vision is to close your eyes and picture your future self. Y'all know I'm a positive psychologist, right? And so this is one of the things that we use in positive psychology. It's called your future self, right? It is your ability to sit and visualize what you want your future self to look like. What are you doing in the future? And if it helps you, put a cap on the future. So if it helps you to do this, sometimes I tell my clients to do this in 6 months, right? So what is she doing in 6 months? What does her life look like? Who is she helping? in 6 months? How does she show up every single day in 6 months? This is how you start in this process of truly envisioning what and getting clear on what you want. I know I used to have a lot of trouble envisioning my future sometimes. And so what I used to do is I used to go on what I call these vision stretching sessions. And what does that mean? So I am a design enthusiast, a lover, DIY. I can't even say the word DIY. Um, Even before today's class, I was painting in my house, right? I was painting because I love all that. So, although I'm a positive psychologist, career coach, all that kind of stuff, I love design. So, for me, I love houses. I love everything to do about houses. I love House Hunters. It's always on my television. People will tell you if you come to my house, normally the TV is going to be on HGTV. That's just how I roll, right? So, with that being said, because I like, houses, design, renovations, the way I used to stretch my vision was back in the day, I would go visit open houses. Uh, it was so nice. I would go to an open house, check out the house, look at all the things that I love about the house, all the things that I don't love. I would be walking through the house and talking about how I would change this or I would keep that and you would thought that I was going to be buying that house for sure. But at that time, I didn't have the money to buy that house, but it stretched my vision. It gave me an opportunity to think about, oh, if I did and when I do get money like this is what I would ultimately do. This is stretching my vision. This is actually showing me that things are possible just from seeing it. Right. And so I would go into these houses and I would do that consistently. I would be at an open house every week. And because back then I felt like open houses were much more easily to come by and to go to, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I also started doing the same thing, which was called a vision stretching mission, and it's in my book, Get Courageous Now. But I used to do the same thing with cars. I would go to the dealership and drive a car that ultimately I couldn't afford at the time. And this also stretched my vision. I wanted to see myself in that car. I wanted to smell the new car smell, honey. Have y'all, you do know the new car smell, right? That smell is amazing. I wanted to smell the new car smell. So I would go to the dealership and I would get in a Mercedes, a BMW, a Lexus, all of those, and I would test drive those around. But that became a little bit more difficult to do because I literally wanted to bring those cars home. And back in the day, I didn't have good credit, nor did I have the money to do so. But if you want something uh, enough, those car dealerships will find a way. And those car payments were going to be way too expensive for me and all that kind of stuff. So I had to stop. I had to stop going to the car dealer because I was literally about to get myself into some trouble. But it was fun while it lasted, but it helped me stretch my vision. Some of you need to go on a vision stretching mission. You need to go out there and really visualize yourself and your life in real life. I know some of us want to do self care and we want to go on hikes and we need to go on hikes. We need to do all these things, but we don't do it. Well, go on a hike, do all these things to stretch your vision about the way your life could be. Because some of you desire to slow down, but you don't know how to. Well, you have to. You have to make yourself. All these things you're not going to get motivation to do. You have to do it and then get motivation. Come on, Dr. Kiki. What? What? Say it again. Stop waiting on motivation. Just get up. Get up, do the thing, and then allow that thing to give you motivation. That is how we have to work in life. We have to understand that willpower is most of the time highest in the mornings. So go with your rhythm and work off of willpower versus trying to work off motivation. Okay. So get your vision, figure out what it is that you really do want out of this career that you have. What is this next goal? Like I'm visualizing my book. I'm visualizing the cover of my book. I'm visualizing the pages. I'm visualizing going into the studio, recording this book on Audible as well. Like all these things I'm visualizing because I'm focused on this specific goal. I want to get to that rough draft of my second book. So visualize that for yourself. And then step number 2, I want you to define goals that stick. Here's what I mean. We all have heard of the SMART method, making the goals specific and measurable and all of that. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, and time bound, right? So what that means is your goal needs to be specific. You need to have it needs to be broken down as specific as possible. Mine, and it also needs to be measurable, meaning you need to have a date on it. You need to be able to measure it. You need to be able to say, once I'm done, this is what I'll have. Once I'm done, this is what I'll have. Right? It needs to be achievable. Right? I always think that we need to push ourselves with our goals. We always do. But you also want to put a goal that's achievable for you to get to in these next 90 days, because that's what really matters. We're working on a 90-day time bound, right? They need to be relevant to you. They need to be relevant to you, meaning they need to matter to you, not to somebody else, but to you, and they need to be time bound. So, like for me, my goal is to write a rough draft. Baby, it's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna be editing and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm writing. I'm just writing the rough draft. My goal is to have the rough draft of my second book done by December 31st. So I have a word count that I want to, that I'm working off of, that I ultimately want to get to with my books, and everything like that. But that's my goal, and it's very specific to me, and I know that I can hit it because I've done it before. I've done it before. Is this still a push goal? Yes, because writing a book in 90 days is no small feat. But can I do it? Yep, it's going to challenge me, but I can do it, and you can too. So, if you want, for example, if you want a better job, instead of saying I want a better job, I would say I will land a leadership role that allows me to coach and inspire others by June. You see how specific that is, right? Versus saying, I know a lot of people are in transition right now, and so their whole goal is to just to get a job. But even in this time, the more specific you can get, potentially the better job you'll get as well. Right? We might not be able to be really crazy picky, especially if you're in a transition at the moment, but you can still align your job hunt with what it is that you want. We don't have to just settle and go for anything. Align your job hunt for what it is you truly, truly want. Okay? So, step four is you have to stay consistent. You have to stay consistent. I think that what's interesting about consistency is that we all know we need to do it. We all know that in order to get to where it is we want to be in life, to reach our goals, we need to stay consistent. But yet and still, it's so hard for us to do so. It's so hard for us to do so. And the reason why I think it's so hard for us to stay consistent is because we're waiting to be motivated to stay consistent. You don't need motivation to stay consistent. What you need is a commitment to yourself that you're going to get this thing done to stay consistent, right? I am not motivated to get up and write every day. But what I am is committed to me. I'm committed to my goal. I'm committed to what I said I was going to do. And I'm also committed to y'all because I done told y'all I'm going to write a book and y'all going to be ready for this book. Right? So that's where I'm at. I don't need to be motivated every day to get it done. For instance, I work out often, and my body is sore right now. If I waited till I was motivated to go to the gym, child, I wouldn't go. And if you are waiting to go to the gym or to do whatever to be motivated, you probably not going. You're probably not doing it. If I was motivated to eat healthy, child, I'm gonna be waiting forever to eat healthy because I can eat all these other ways. Eating healthy is the thing that I have to do because I want to. Going to the gym is the thing I have to do because I want to, right? And so I am not waiting to be motivated to stay consistent. I'm doing it because I said I was going to do it. Do you know the biggest promise that you can ever make? Do you know? The biggest promise that you can ever make is a promise that you make to yourself. Because we put ourselves on the back burner most of the time. Like, it's so interesting how we will do everything. I mean, everything in our power to make someone else's life better. Yet and still, we put ourselves last in the lineup of our own lives. It amazes me how we do that, how we put ourselves last. And I know it's very true for moms as well. I'm a mom, and baby, let me tell you, I be ripping and running and doing all the things. And I sometimes find that I'm putting myself last, and it's not fun. And so I have to often readjust so that I can put me where I belong, which is first. Because here's the thing, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't give from an empty cup. But most of us are giving to other people from a dry bone cup. It's crazy to me. So you got to stay consistent. You got to keep showing up. You don't have to do everything, and it ain't got to be perfect every single day. You might have said that you want to do something for 30 minutes a day. Let's just take working out. You want to work out for 30 minutes a day. Okay, that's great. But what if today you got 10 minutes? Do the 10 minutes because that's better than doing nothing. And that keeps you consistent towards your goals. As I think about progress, is progress for me is my best motivator. When I can check stuff off, even if it's small, I do that and then I celebrate my wins. I check it off, even if it's small, and I'll celebrate my wins because that's how you keep moving forward. And then the last step is I need you to have a goal getter mindset. And I always think it's interesting when I talk about mindset because most people think about mindset as something that's frou frou and she and all that kind of stuff. And I used to think like that, when I used to listen to classes and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh, they about to give me all the tools. They're about to give me all the things that are necessary for me to be able to, get my life together. And then they started talking about mindset, and I start tuning out. I'm telling you, I'm always going to be real with you, right? I start tuning out because I think that this part is less important. But little did I know, this part was the most important because how you think about things is going to be how it plays out in your life. Period. If you cannot wrap your mind around going after this goal and being being encouraged and really setting your mind to reaching the goal, then guess what? You ain't gonna reach it. You're just not gonna reach it. You have to up level your mindset. You have to become a goal getter. You have to identify, you have to identify as a goal getter. You have to identify with the goal and say, guess what? This is in me. I'm going after this goal. And you can't think of it as just an activity, right? You have to say things like, I'm the kind of woman who finishes what she starts. I'm going to finish what I start. That's one thing that most people know about me. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. That's just who I that's just who I am. If I say that I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because I am who I think I am. And when it comes to your mind, you are who you think you are. And if you don't believe you're going to get it done, guess what? You're not going to get it done. And I don't care how much motivation, how many, videos, how much all this kind of stuff you look for, you still not going to get it done. So you have to really, really talk to yourself in a way that matters. You need to have these daily affirmations. So one of them can be for you: I'm a goal getter. I follow through. I create results. I follow through. I create results. Everything I do it big. And the reason why I say that is because everything I do, everything I say I'm going to do, I'm going to get it done. Now, granted, granted, I'm a human and you are a human. And there is room for adjustment. Let me say it again. There's room for adjustment. I am never so rigid in my life that I can't step back and say, you know what? I need to readjust this because this ain't working out how I want it to. There's never room in my life that I can't do that. And there should never be room in your life that you can't do that because most of us are so worried about being perfect that we allow it to hinder us from moving forward. Perfection is the root of all evil. A lot of people be saying money is the root of all evil. Honey, perfection is the root of all evil. It will have you stuck. It will have you not living your dream. It will have you scared. All of that. Trying to be perfect, which does not even exist. Like perfect does not even exist. Now, don't get me wrong. I love, I love getting stuff done and it being beautiful and all that kind of stuff. I love it. But I've learned in my years that it's better to get it done and to be able to move forward than not. Prime example: one of my professors, when I was getting my PhD, always used to say, a done dissertation is better than no dissertation. Come on, somebody. A done dissertation is better than no dissertation. What he meant was, yes, this dissertation is, it's hard. It may not be your best work, but it's better that you get done versus not graduating at all. And I took that to heart and I did get it done. And that work, the work that I did on my dissertation, has led all the work that I do now because it has truly mattered. My dissertation was on positive psychology coaching and women in leadership. And my question was, does positive psychology coaching help women in leadership advance? And the answer is yes, it do. I'm so glad that it does because, this is my life. But it's done. And now I'm Dr. Kiki Ramsey. If I harped on every single little thing when it came to my dissertation, I might not be Dr. Kiki Ramsey and I might still be in my PhD. What are you waiting on? What are you harping on so much so that you're not moving forward? Ask yourself that question and get out of your own way and let's move forward and let's get at these goals. Let's get at these goals. I love all of this in the chat. Thank you for dropping this in the chat. It really does matter to me that y'all are here with me live. And so if you are joining me here live, drop your goals in the chat and let us all know what you are looking to accomplish in the next 90 days. Our deadline, y'all, is December 31st. December 31st. So drop it in the chat. That's our deadline. And if you are not joining us live, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop yours in the comments. If you are here for the first time, please like and subscribe to this channel and then share this with somebody because guess what? There are so many of us out there who need to become goal-getters. I've talked to so many women in coaching, and the sentiment is that, "Ooh, child, I need to get my life together. Ooh, child, I need to, reach this goal." I think at some points in our life, we just kind of lose sight of our dreams and our goals. I think a lot of times we lose sight of our dreams and we're just going with the flow every single day. We're going with the flow. I want us to wake up. I want us to be aware. Be aware that life is happening. Yes, the world may be super duper crazy right now. But at the end of the day, life is still happening. And it's not just happening to you, it's happening for you. And aren't we glad about that? I mean, at some point, we need to stop and give a little gratitude that the fact that you woke up this morning. I think that we can get really mixed up when you turn on the TV, when you turn on IG or Facebook or YouTube or whatever you look at, you get disheartened by all the things that you see going on. I know I do. I'm human, right? But I also have to remember that God gave me this beautiful life and I get to live it. You get to live your life every day. And if you're able bodied, you get to go to work, you get to go to the gym, you get to be with your family, you get to do these things. You don't have to, but you get to. And I think that if we really leaned into gratitude a little bit more during these days, more of us would be a little bit better in terms of our well-being and our wellness because we have to take care of ourselves. And in order to take care of ourselves, we still have to have goals and aspirations. And that's why we are on this call today, is that I want you to not forget that you are still living. It's a beautiful, beautiful life that you have, that you get to live. How will you do that? How will you do that? So please share this with somebody. And if you're looking for a supportive community, join me in Thrive Society. You can just go to drkiki.com and click on Thrive Society. You can join our community. We actually have an official challenge for the 90-day career sprint if you want to join that. And I'm giving you prompts, emails. We're doing check-ins in terms of motivation, in terms of encouragement, in terms of keeping you on track in terms of your accountability. So you can join us in the official challenge community as well. It's inside of Thrive Society. So just go to drkiki.com and you can find all the information to just click on that and join us over there. All right, y'all. I love y'all. You have the opportunity. You have the option to go out there and create your own happiness. Go ahead and spread a little joy. All right. Next time. Peace.